Current Secretary of Homeland Security, Kirstjen Nielsen, with that warning issued over the weekend. President Trump has been tweeting about this topic as well and has said the U.S. military will be waiting for this migrant caravan at the border. We have the former Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Jeh Johnson, who worked in the Obama administration, with us here in studio. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Your reaction or impression about how the administration has been handling this issue?
Well, first, a little bit of history. Illegal migration on our southern border is a fraction of what it used to be. The high was fiscal year 2000, 1.6 million apprehensions on our southern border. In recent years, it has ranged somewhere in the 300,000 to 400,000 range. We had a spike in 2014, my second year in office,
right,
and we did a number of things to drive the numbers down. The numbers went down. 2015 was a very low year. 2016, it crept back up again. 2017 was a low year, Mr. Trump's first year in office. Now,
your point is it goes up and down.
Well, it goes up and down because this was a lesson learned while I was in office.
Right.
You can do certain things to change enforcement policy, issue warnings like Secretary Nielsen issued, but that will cause, at most, a short-term shock to the system. After that is over, illegal migration patterns always revert to their normal as long as the underlying conditions in the countries from which they are fleeing continue to exist.
Now, the Trump administration would argue that that is not necessarily true, that we just need better border security and, you know, let's not allow anyone, as administration officials have said in the past, just walk across this
border. Better border security certainly contributes to the problem. We've actually invested a lot over the Bush, Clinton, Obama years in better border security, which has contributed to the downturn. But that will only get you so far. And as long as the three countries, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, are as violent as they are,
people are always going to want to come.
Those push factors are going to continue to drive this problem.
And speaking of history,
there are no easy answers to this. There are no quick fixes to this. You cannot shut down the southern border. It's a little like saying, I want it to stop raining.
Right.
So you
on
can
this
shut down
particular
ports
issue,
eventually,
though,
but you can't shut down the border.
I actually want to ask you about that because that's a direction the administration may be moving. But you brought up history on this particular story, caravans moving in from Central America. There is a history, right? How did you deal with it in your time in office? When a caravan like this, maybe the numbers, this one might be bigger in numbers from the reports we're getting. I'm not sure if you can confirm that. But when a caravan like this made its way to the border, how did you personally handle it?
In 2014, we saw a spike in early summer. We did a number of things. We expanded family detention. We kept families together. We expanded family detention, which was controversial.
Right.
We sent the message that we did that, but we also got the Mexican government to work with us to better secure their southern border with Central America.
Now, are they doing that this time? Doesn't seem
frankly, I don't know that they are.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, so Mexico could do more.
Mexico could do more. The new administration coming into office in Mexico, don't know quite what the new president's attitude toward immigration will be. In Mexico, immigration is regarded in many quarters as a human right.
Right.
But definitely a cooperative relationship with the government of Mexico can contribute to our own border security. But we've simply got to invest in dealing with the poverty and violence at the source. Otherwise, we're going to continue to bang our head against the wall, I'm afraid, on this problem.
Let me ask you about ports of entry and people coming in here illegally versus applying through the asylum process. We're told, and Fox's White House correspondent John Roberts has reported on this today, that one of the executive orders, or a possible executive order under consideration, would allow asylum claims to be made by these folks coming in at a port of entry, at an official border crossing, but anyone who comes in illegally would automatically be denied, not even considered. If they come through an illegal measure, they would be denied an asylum claim, wouldn't even be considered. What do you make of that?
Legally, I'm not sure you can do that. Legally, there's an obligation to consider a legitimate claim for asylum.
Even if they don't come in through a legitimate port of entry or border crossing?
Most people don't come in through a legitimate port of entry. But once they assert a claim for asylum, generally the law requires that it be fairly and appropriately considered. So that one may be subject. That one may be subject to legal challenge.
It would face a court challenge, and you don't think it would stand up on?
Well, we'd have to see in the courts. I do tell young lawyers bad facts make bad law, good facts make good law. So sympathetic facts on the other side won't necessarily make good law for you.
If there was one thing that this administration is doing that you would do differently in this particular case, faced with this many people approaching the border? What would it be? What would you do differently?
Well, again, there are no easy, quick fixes to this problem. You've got to invest at the source. One thing we would not do in the prior administration is separate families. I just could not go there. This administration did it this past summer. It was hugely controversial, and the numbers are still high. And so there are a number of different things. I would be working cooperatively with the government of Mexico. I would be encouraging other nations in the region to set up their own asylum process, their own refugee vetting process, so that there are alternate places for these people who are truly desperate to go rather than just migrate north.
Some did apply. I believe the number was 1,700 for asylum in Mexico. So,
we can support efforts in the region to give people an alternate safe path to go. Our Congress can and should be doing that, in my judgment.
Jay Johnson, thank you for your perspective on the issue. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
The former Homeland Security Secretary.